Good evening, guys. Happy 2019. Happy New Year. Welcome to Transformation Tuesday. How you doing? I hope you're having a beautiful start to the year. Apologies for my croaky voice in advance. I caught a little bit of a bug on the flight back from Tasmania. I just flew back last Sunday night, so I'm back here in Perth. Pleasure to be back here delivering Transformation Tuesdays for you guys in a brand new season 2. We're on to season 2. Welcome, Rod. How you doing, mate? Happy New Year. So we're on to season 2 of Transformation Tuesday. 2019, this is going to be a huge year. I'm going to be sharing so much more value, so much more insights, being a lot more tactical and strategic in terms of what I'm sharing, giving you guys more insights, more processes, more practical advice, more suggestions. Things are going to go to a whole new level and a far deeper level of, I like to hope, support and education and knowledge heading your way. So this is going to be a great year. Tonight, and just as I wait for a few of you guys to jump on, hey Rod, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year and all the rest. Good to see you back, mate. Tonight, the theme of tonight's broadcast is how do we create this year to be our best year yet? We all want every year of our life to be the best year yet, and my personal philosophy is that every single year of my life gets into greater and greater alignment with what I'm meant to experience. So for me, I just have a belief system that says that every single year is going to be my best year yet. So, but I want to give you guys the practical tools. Hey Mike, good to see you, mate. Happy New Year. I want to give you guys the tools and the process that I follow, that I personally use when I'm designing my year. Now, the way that I do things in my business, in my life, is a little bit different than what I'm going to be sharing with you tonight for the purposes of giving you something to take away. But essentially it's the same kind of format. So I'm going to give you the structure and the process that I use for designing my year. That's my life, my business, my relationships, my health, everything. So I'm going to give you the process. And at the end of it, I'm also going to put up a worksheet that you guys can download and take away with you so you can actually go through and follow this process. So take notes as we go through, ask questions if you've got questions, and I'm going to be sharing with you the exact same process that I use to design my life and that I've designed my 2019. Before we get into it, I would just also like to share that, yes, at any moment, our plans, our goals, our aspirations can change. And I think it's vital that we have an attitude of flexibility. In whatever we're doing, our approach to life needs to be flexible. So at any moment, things could change. So I'm going to share with you some of my goals and aspirations. And at any point during this year, I may change, I may evolve, I may supersede some of those goals or attributes or things. And I've now updated them with something that's more in alignment. And I encourage you guys to do the same. Hey, Monica, good to see you here. Happy New Year. So I encourage most people to consider their goals, their life from the viewpoint of the concept of alignment, which is what does our true self want to experience? What is our spirit want to experience in this life, as opposed to what's the conditioning and what are the patterns of the past? What does our ego self or what does our old self want to do versus, well, what are we truly here to experience? So I want to give you the concept of alignment as I would say alignment is probably a really good measure of how on track are you in life? Are you aligned with what you want to experience? So alignment as opposed to grandiose, impact, magnitude, money, all these kinds of things. I would say alignment with what we truly want to and what we truly desire to experience. So there you go. With all that being said, I'm going to dive in. I'm going to share with you my process for how we create our best year yet. By the way, I'm keen to find out, how was your New Year's? How was your Christmas break? How are you guys doing? What's going on in your world? Let me know. How are you guys doing? Always keen to hear and find out from you guys what you're up to. So let's dive straight in. Now, before we design our life, before we design our 2019, we first of all need to be fully aware and fully present to, well, what's the whole purpose of this, right? Now, the purpose of designing our 2019 is to bring us more into alignment, is to bring us into creatorship of what we truly want to experience. So this whole purpose is to facilitate and to accelerate and to deepen and empower us to be able to be the master creators of our life that we all are. So, the buck stops with us. If we want to change something in our life, we have to do it. So this is the ultimate process that you go through to transform anything about your life. Hey Todd, good to see you here, mate. Happy New Year. So the first thing you want to really get clear on is, and remind yourself, is why are you here? What's your purpose in life? What's your purpose in business? What's your purpose for being here? Because if you don't have a purpose for why you're doing what you're doing, if you don't have a reason why you're here, then life doesn't have a lot of meaning. There's not a lot of motivation. There's no sense of inspiration, or like it's like we're playing a game, but there's no rule book. So by having a purpose and tapping into your purpose and getting clearer on your purpose, you supercharge. Hey Mel, good to see you here. You supercharge your motivation. Having a purpose is like putting a supercharged V8 engine in a car. When you have a purpose, you have the ability to put your foot down and you get access to a hell of a lot of horsepower. So if you don't have a really strong, powerful purpose, I've spoken about purpose before, but ultimately purpose is the reason why you're here. What is the reason why you're here in this life? Now, for me, my purpose is really, really simple, and I've simplified it. I used to have pages and pages and pages of purpose statement. For me, my purpose is really simple. It's to be connected, present, and aligned with my spirit. That's it. It's really quite simple. It's to be present, connected, and aligned to this. Not to this, to this. To be the expression of that. And to be the expression of my spirit, and to be the expression of love. It's really quite simple. Now, yes, in terms of all the different areas of my life and my business, which I'm going to be sharing with you, all the different goals and the specifics about, well, what does that look like? How much money does that look like? You know, how what does that actually mean? Before I get into that, I just want to share that's my purpose. And yeah, thanks, Mike. Love it. So we need to have a purpose, which is the reason why we're here in this life. Now, I encourage you guys to explore that concept deeply, to meditate on it, to reflect on it, to journal on it, to talk about it. Because the purpose is not something that just falls out of the sky one day and you go, oh, I'm now enlightened, I now know why I'm here. Your purpose will evolve over time. It's something that deepens with each time you think about it, you reflect on it, you have a conversation on it. It just deepens and deeper. It's like a hole that just keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper, and you just keep going into greater and greater degrees of alignment. So explore the concept of purpose. Keep digging at it, keep exploring, searching, and it just keeps refining and getting purer and purer and more in alignment. So that's the first element before we do any of this, is getting even clearer on who you are and who and what you are and why you are here. So I also have an external purpose, which I encourage you to also explore. So there's the internal purpose, which is what are you here to experience? And then I would say there's an external purpose, which is, well, what are you here to now create in terms of impact, in terms of doing things, making a contribution. So the internal purpose is what do you want to experience and be? And then the external purpose is, right, well, what do I want to create? You know, this is the ultimate game. Do I want to start a business? Do I want to do I want to build schools in third world countries? What's the creatorship? What's your purpose for impact in terms of what action, what results, what do you want to create in this world? So starting to create some distinctions around internal purpose and then some sort of external purpose. So for me, my external purpose is more around the impact and the clients that I work with. Hey, Monica, yeah. I spent a long period of my life hoping that my purpose would fall out of the sky. The good news is it's an inside job. Our purpose is chosen by us. It's decided by us. It's a decision. It's a decision, but it's also tuning into and connecting to what's already present within us. So our purpose is always inside us. And the various experiences of life unfold, they reveal what is already present within us. So don't go looking for anything outside of self or searching for the purpose. The purpose is already in here. It always has been. And it's when we simply stop and become present to acknowledging and being aware of that guidance that's always been inside us, that's where the magic happens, and the purpose has always been in there. And that's just a common misconception a lot of people think is, I've got to go out and search for my purpose. Well, the searching needs to be done inside, and it comes through connection. It comes through presence. It comes through awareness. So it's an inside job. So I was talking about my external purpose. So my external purpose for me, and again, I encourage you guys to explore this and come up with this for yourself as well, is what's your external purpose in terms of what's the impact, or what's the external purpose in terms of what are you focusing on, what do you want to create out there as opposed to what you want to create in here. So two different worlds are going on. There's your internal world and your external world. So my external world revolves around helping other people transform their lives. As you guys know, this is my external purpose. This is my gift to other people. This is helping others transform their lives, helping people become empowered to start businesses, to be the expression of their authentic self. So that's my external purpose, is to help others become the greatest version of themselves so that they can be the purest, most authentic connected version of them so that they can then be the expression of their signature, the signature essence of their spirit in this life. So that's my external purpose. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this is if the whole purpose of goal setting, hey Josh, good to see you here, mate. The whole purpose of goal setting is to bring us into alignment with our purpose. So there's a couple of concepts I just wanted to refine here for you guys. We have our purpose, which is our reason why we are here. It's our reason for being. It's essentially who and what we are. What's the reason why we've come into this life? And that's purpose. Separate to purpose is our vision. Now, a vision is who we are wanting to be. Our vision is who we're striving to evolve into. So a vision is a future version of self. It's like an ideal version of us. Here's where we are now, 2019. The ideal version of us is at some point in the future, which is the ideal set of characteristics, attributes, way of being, knowledge, skill, experience, all those things. So that's our vision for ourselves, which is at some point in the future. So it gives us a target to aim for. So that's the whole concept of a vision, is we have something to move towards. The purpose is the reason why we're in the game in the first place. So purpose and vision are very, very similar concepts. Slightly different, but to kind of simplify it for now, vision is where you're going in terms of where are you headed, in terms of your beingness. What do you want to experience? Who are you striving to become? So they're the two concepts that you simply must get clear on these before you go any further with goal setting, because, and this is what I did for a large period of my life, and this is what a lot of people make this big mistake, which is people start setting goals with no awareness of what their purpose is or what their vision is. So people just start setting goals. Oh, I want to lose weight. Oh, I want to earn more money, right? So they start creating all these goals, which we'll get to in a minute. And not saying there's anything wrong with being healthy or earning more money. But the problem is when people start setting goals without an awareness of their purpose, of their vision, about the whole reason why they're setting goals in the first place, that is one of the biggest reasons why people come unstuck. That's one of the big reasons why people actually don't stick to their goals, because people don't have a big enough why. They don't have a sense of motivation. They don't have a sense of a reason, well, why am I even doing this goal in the first? Why am I pursuing this goal in the first place? So, and tell me if you guys can relate. If you've ever set a goal before that's been based out of ego, or because someone said that you should do something, and then you get a little bit down the track and it's like, well, I'm not really that motivated to even create this goal. There's no life force. There's no motivation or inspiration or driving force behind the goal in the first place. So the thing is, we need to have that why. We need to have that deep sense of purpose and motivation and reason why we're pursuing a goal. Otherwise, we won't have the staying power. We won't have the determination. We won't have the grit. So this is why this is such a really important, critical step. And you'll get these details in the PDF worksheet that's going to come out tomorrow morning when we put the show notes up. So keep an eye out for that, guys, and jump on and download the show notes. So we've got our purpose and we've got our vision. Now, for me, I think the best way of creating a vision for self is using words. Surprise, surprise. But when I say words, I don't mean writing a description. I've tried that. And in my experience, when you write a description of the vision for who you want to become, which I used to do things like I want to become an empowered leader. I want to become healthy and vibrant and excited. And I used to use a big description, but now I just keep it simple. Just go with words. Just literally pick keywords that resonate with you. So for me, for example, here's some of the words that I've written for the vision for who I'm striving to become, to move towards for 2019. And this is fit, healthy, energized, powerhouse leader, role model, successful entrepreneur, influencer, global traveler, empowered, confident, abundant, professional. I deliver results, being organized, connected, aligned, present. I'm an attraction machine. I produce amazing content. I'm self-loving. I'm radiant. I'm grateful, and I stand in my authority and I stand in my power. So these are some of the energetic words that I encourage you guys to consider about how do you want to define what your vision is for who you would describe yourself for being. It's a being, right? Your beingness, as opposed to doing or having. It's your beingness, which is it's who you are, right? And obviously that gets demonstrated through your actions. So definitely write a list of being words which resonate with you, so that you have something to aim for. You have some sort of concept of who's the person you're striving to be. And I always think a really, really good concept for deciding who you want to be, as morbid as it might sound, is you can actually imagine yourself at your funeral and you're watching you're watching your casket, right? You're watching the whole funeral. You're watching the whole funeral unfold, and you actually want to imagine, well, what are people saying about you, right? What would your best friends say about you? What would your partner say about you? What would your kids say about you? What would you want people to say about you so that you know that you lived a good life, you lived a life that was in alignment? Those are the words that you want to define here as your vision. Now, what I also encourage you to do is also come up with a mantra. Now, a mantra is it's like a war cry. What is your mantra for this year? If you've got a cheer squad, if you've got a best friend who's in your ear the whole day, what's that mantra for you? Right, now come up with a mantra. Now for me, my mantra is let's create it. Let's create it. And this also ties into the next element, which is I recommend you choose a theme. You pick a theme for you. So you've got a mantra, which is like a war cry, and then you've also got a theme. Now, your theme might be health, your theme might be innovation, your theme might be love. For me, my theme this year is creativity. It's creativity. It's embracing my creatorship to bring into this world something new, something that hasn't yet existed. So for me, my theme is creativity, right? So plenty of innovation, plenty of new ideas, and a whole new approach to how I create. So I recommend having a theme for the year. Now, once you've got those elements established, and again, this may take, well, for example, getting clear on your purpose and your vision, I recommend blocking out a several number of hours to get clear on these things. These are, as someone just dropped in the comments, I think it was Monica said, the purpose might fall out of the sky one day. Well, maybe not. I would recommend you spend a lot of time blocking out time, meditating on what is your purpose, what is your vision, what are you here for, and then it will crystallize. It will come clearer and clearer and clearer. Now, once you get clearer on that, you're now in a position to start nominating, well, what are your goals for this year? Now, again, I recommend keeping goals really, really simple. Now, a goal, again, to give you some context, because I think it's really important we understand why we're even setting goals in the first place. Goals are so important because goals are like the stepping stones that are guiding us towards the vision. So we have our vision. Hey, Jenny, good to see you here. Hey, Lynn. Our goals are the stepping stones that are going to take us towards the vision. So the goals are the specific stages and the steps and the resources that we need to move through in order to move us towards becoming the person that we are meant to be, which is also then to experience our purpose. So again, vision and purpose very closely aligned, and all of our goals that we're setting are also set in alignment for us to experience our vision unfolding. So I'm going to give you some examples of some goals. Now, when you're setting goals, I definitely recommend considering the different categories of life. So when I mean categories of life, I recommend, yes, you could probably start with a blank bit of paper and go, what are my goals? And you just start brainstorming. Now, that's one way of doing it. A more efficient or a more powerful way, I believe, is where you look at the different categories of life and you then look at your goals based on the categories. So, for example, the major categories are health, relationships, finances, business, right? Health, relationships, finances, and business. They're the four major categories. Now, you can add a lot of other categories. In the worksheet that I'm going to give you guys to download, you'll see there's some extra categories. And I think the categories I've got there are growth and education is in one category. Also experiences, which are things like, travel experiences or bucket list items. Now, typically they're the major categories. Now, you can add your own categories. You might have specific areas of your life. Family might be another category. Social life might be another category. All right, you might split health into health and fitness. You might have health and fitness as separate categories. It's neither here nor there, but I definitely recommend having categories. And as I said, in the PDF worksheet you guys can download, click back in the link tomorrow morning, you'll be able to download that worksheet. I'm going to step it out for you so you can actually follow it through. So the first category that I usually start with, which is the most important for me, is health. The thing about health is, the reason why health is so important is because if we don't have a health, we've got nothing. Right? Now, again, I didn't always used to care about my health. One of the questions you can ask yourself to start to care more about your health is asking the question, how long do you want to live? I think it's a pretty good question. It starts to get us to contemplate how important really is our health. Hey, Jenny, just looking at your comment here. Looking forward to listening to this. Nice one. I'll see you later, Jenny. Thanks for tuning in. So, health is incredibly important. If you don't have health, what have you got? Now, a lot of people spend most of their life earning money and working hard, to then when they get later on in life, when they get older, their health has deteriorated, they haven't taken care of their body, and they now spend most of their money, most of their time trying to buy back their health. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that doesn't sound like a very intelligent way to live your life. My recommendation, my suggestion is we take care of our health every single day so we don't have that problem when we don't have to buy back our health, because we are in a state of health. So when you're healthier, you have more energy, you have more resources, you have more ability to contribute. You can function at a higher degree of intelligence and wisdom and discernment. You can be a more professional, more powerful human being. So again, I'm probably on repeat. I'm probably not sharing anything. I'm probably not saying anything that's incredibly profound or new. But again, sometimes we just need to hear something over and over and over, and we go, yeah, you know what? It's about time I started taking care of my health. And for me, I spent decades thinking that I should take care of my health, but I didn't do anything about it. So I hope for you guys, if you have been wanting to take your health to the next level, 2019 certainly is the year that you finally decide to do that. So I'm going to give you some examples of my health goals that I've got. And I trust that some of these are inspiring as well. And I love to hear from you guys if you've got any goals that are coming up that resonate with you. Some of the goals that I've got are this year, 0 alcohol. So this year will be 0 alcohol. Now, I don't drink a lot of alcohol anyway. Every now it's kind of like special occasions. I might have an odd celebratory drink for a special occasion. But this year, nothing. Gone. I just made the decision. Cutting it out. That's it. It's not adding anything to my life. I'm going to take it out of my life because I value my vitality, I value my health far more than the short-term gratification and short-term effects that I get from consuming alcohol. Hey Marcel, good to see you here. Happy New Year. Hey Rod, at 58 I'm starting to understand this health thing more than ever before. Yes, totally. Health thing, it's actually a really cool thing. And when we take care of our health, so many of the other dimensions of our life get taken to a whole new level. Relationships, business, career, finances, we can just exponentially create so much more when we're in a state of health and vitality. Good to see you, Marcel. Thank you for the love. Much love back to you. So 0 alcohol. 100% plant-based diet for me this year. So, and vegan as well. So I've done a lot of research around nutrition. I've tested and measured a lot of different food groups and how my body responds to different foods. I encourage you guys to do the same. Test and measure. Try meat. Try a period of time without meat. Try eating eggs. Try not eating eggs. Try eating dairy. Try not eating dairy. Compare, test how your body responds. Get blood tests. Okay, go see the doctor. Test all the vital signs. Test what your body responds to in terms of foods. For me, that's this is my year is going to be a full plant-based vegan diet. So there we go, because it maximizes my energy, my alertness, my concentration, and my body just thrives on it. I love it. So there's a couple of examples of health goals for me. I'm going to give you some business goals. So for me, for example, my business goals by the end of this year, I want to be earning $90,000 per month. That's my business goal. So that's my target, 90 grand a month. So obviously within that, I've now got sub-business goals about where's that money coming from. So if you guys have financial goals, define what's the financial goal and then define, well, where is that revenue coming from? What are the revenue streams? Where is the money coming from? Do you have one primary source of income? Do you have passive income? Do you have investments? Do you have real estate? Do you have any other, there's all sorts of other, look, we've never lived in a better time in the history of humanity to start to diversify our source of income. So look into it. There's plenty of other ways you can earn lots of money in this reality. This is the ultimate time. Plenty of passive income sources, plenty of other side businesses, plenty of opportunities. If you have an entrepreneurial spark to you, if you have a desire to experience financial freedom, this is the time to be alive because there's so many opportunities. With a smartphone, you could start an Uber tomorrow. You can start so many businesses. There's so many opportunities with technology and innovation. It's so good. This is amazing. So anyway, so that's an example of business goals. So another example of experience goals. I've got another category here, which is experiences. You call it travel, I'm just going to call it experience. Call it bucket list item. For me, my goals for this year, I'm going back to Burning Man. Burning Man is an incredible experience. My anticipation is I'll be going there every year of my life. So I definitely recommend you guys also have some travel and experience and bucket list goals set in place because you've got to treat yourself, you've got to celebrate, you've got to strive for wanting to experience those amazing magical experiences. So, pick up a travel magazine, Like look at, go on YouTube, look at, the 100, Google search the 100 most incredible bucket list items. Start to inspire yourself about what you want to experience. So for me, Burning Man, I'm going back there in August and September. I'm planning to relocate to Bali at some point of this year to spend a bit of time over in Bali. So I've got that's an experience, I guess, or a living goal. I also want to go on a snowboarding holiday. So yeah, I'm committing to a snowboarding holiday at some point during this year. And I'd also love to buy a new car as well. So there you go. So there's a couple of little kind of an experience goal. So there's a whole lot of other areas as well. There's relationships. There's also education and growth. So and again, you can take these concepts and you could expand upon these infinitely. So I'm just giving you a really, really quick snapshot of how to do, I guess, a very rudimentary, basic goals or vision process. The important thing is you evaluate this weekly. Ideally, you do it every day. You're actually looking at the goals you're creating and you actually they're on the top of your mind. You actually go, great, what am I actually focusing on today? So I definitely recommend once you actually go through this process, you revisit it regularly, right? Because I can tell you right now, like for me, for example, I might get halfway through this year and the goals that I've set for myself, it's like, well, they're either no longer relevant or maybe I've upped the ante and I've now updated them. So I've now drawn a line through that one. That's not relevant. I've changed it. So definitely keep reviewing your goals. Always review them, not from multiple reasons. First of all, you want to make sure they're fresh in your mind. As I said, you want to make sure that they're fresh in your mind. You don't just do this process and file it away and never look at it again. You want to have your goals front and center. You want to have them, if you've got them on a laptop, I've got mine on a laptop, you want to actually put a reminder to actually bring that spreadsheet, or I have mine in an Evernote file, bring that file out and review it regularly, right? Because otherwise, if it just lives in your computer, lives in your laptop, you probably never look at it. If you never look at it, what's going to happen? It's not going to happen. So you've got to remind yourself, and you've got to create triggers. You've got to even schedule an appointment with yourself, schedule a weekly goal session, goal review session. I'm reviewing my goals every day. I'm looking at my goals, just quickly going, what are my goals? That's right. I remind myself why I'm doing what I'm doing. So yeah, keep reviewing your goals. And if they change, they change. Great. Update them, upgrade them, increase that level of alignment. Hey Marcel, hope Bali's treating you well. I'll be over there in March. That's where we're going to be having our quarterly team meeting over in Bali. So I love that place. All right. So guys, that's pretty much it. I just want to give you guys the framework for how to really design your year and keep it simple. That's always the best approach, is keep it simple. Like, I know there's thousands of different goal setting strategies, and I reckon yes, for those of you that have heard of the SMART goal setting format, they've got to be specific. The goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. Now, just simplify all of that. Make them specific in terms of if you're wanting to save money, if it's a financial goal, put a number on it. I've got $90,000 a month income target. That's specific, right? It's time bound. Put a date on it. It's by the end of the year, or if you know when you want to achieve these things, maybe by the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. If you want to go on a holiday, put the month there or the date. Right? So start to get specific. And that's pretty much it. Like really, keep it simple. Just keep it simple. Jot your goals down, and all of your goals should be moving you in alignment to your vision to experience your purpose. All of your goals should be generating a feeling of expansion. Your goals should be there to give you fulfillment, to give you happiness. So if you've got goals there where there's a lot of resistance, where maybe there's some goals there that you're not really looking forward to, then that's something to look into. Because all it means is you haven't yet got full clarity on the goal. Maybe you haven't got the steps. Maybe you haven't got the strategy. Maybe you haven't created a vision for that area. So if you've got some goals that you're not necessarily emotionally inspired by, then all it means is there's some work to be done in order to bring that goal to the level where you're now inspired or enthusiastic about it. To take this to a whole nother level, what I also recommend you do is you actually visualize all of your goals happening in advance. So you imagine that it's the end of 2019. And you visualize everything. You actually create a picture screen in your mind. It's like you're creating a little movie, creating a little video. So create a slideshow of all the pictures, all the feelings, the words, the experience unfolding. So it's like you've already experienced it. Now, what that does is it hacks all your neurology. It hacks all of your brain chemistry. It hacks all of your experience, because what it does is it fools your unconscious mind into thinking that it's already happened. Now, by thinking that it's already happened, what now happens is that the neural pathways that are now firing, you can fire off those thoughts really, really easy, because it's like, great, I've already had this experience. This is great. I've already done this. I can do this. So it makes the unfamiliar familiar. It makes something that was previously undefined or fuzzy, makes it super, like really, really clear. And you can literally see it on the screen in your mind. So the clearer the imagery, the clearer the visuals and the imagination that you can create around your goals, means that your goals are going to happen a lot quicker. They're going to happen more. They're going to happen in a lot more streamlined way, and you're going to bring them into fruition with a lot more elegance. It's going to happen easier. So definitely visualize your goals. And again, there's so many processes here. I'm just trying to pack as much value in as I can. At the end of every single one of your days, I definitely recommend a wind down meditation. Now, a wind down meditation is where you start to silence the mind, you start to reconnect, and you start preparing yourself for sleep. Now, just before you go to bed, I definitely recommend in that wind down meditation, you do this vision process where you imagine all of your goals unfolding. You imagine the end of 2019, everything has happened successfully, everything's unfolded, it's happened, it's gone better than you could ever imagined. And you're visualizing this. So this is called mental rehearsal, right? So you're now visualizing this mental rehearsal process, and you're imagining it's already happened, right? Now, just before you go to bed, that's a pretty amazing way to go to sleep, right? Because you're now visualizing your ideal life unfolding in your mind, right? So that's a powerful process I recommend everyone does every night before they go to bed. So guys, I'm gonna leave it there. So I'm excited because I've got a worksheet that I can give you guys that you can download. I'll have that link. I'll have that out there tomorrow morning for you guys to download. It's a worksheet you can follow through. You have exactly the same process that I use to set all my goals. And the most important, you're welcome, Ron. The most important thing is that your goals are in alignment with your vision, with your purpose, that your goals are here to support you, to expand you, to help guide you on that path. So, and as I said, if there's a goal there that seems a little bit challenging, right? If there's a goal there that kind of seems like there might be some resistance behind it, great, celebrate that, look into it, take a look at what's the resistance. Maybe there's some limiting beliefs. Maybe there's some lack of awareness. Maybe there's some strategy. Maybe there's some skill, knowledge, or experience that you need to acquire in order to achieve that goal. So, yes, when you set those goals, the obstacles will appear. All the internal obstacles and the external obstacles will become available to you. You'll be able to become aware of them. So, when you set that goal to start that business or earn that amount of money, yes, your unconscious mind, your ego, all of your limitations, they will come to the surface. Right, which is great. Which is a great way of becoming aware of your limiting beliefs and becoming aware of your limitations, is to set that big, hairy, audacious goal. The bigger the goal that you set, the more excuses our ego is going to put forward. No, you can't do that. No, you're not good enough to do that. You don't have the knowledge. Who are you kidding? Hey, Berto, good to see you here, mate. So, yes, set those goals. Push the limits, right? And this is another powerful concept, is set an intention to create that, but don't be attached to it. So it's intention without attachment. I want to explain this distinction because for a lot of people are afraid of setting goals because they think, oh, well, what if I set the goal and what if it doesn't happen? What if I fail? What if I announce to the world that I want to do this and I don't get it? Well, this concept will change your reality and it will empower you and it's going to save your life. And it is, have an intention that it's going to happen. Have an intention that you're going to create it. It is going to happen. Now, don't be attached to how it happens or when it happens, right? Don't even be attached to the meaning behind if it happens. It's coming from a place of, I want to bring this into existence. I love it. I love the idea of it. I'm inspired to create it. I believe I'm going to create it. Now, if it happens, you get a year from now and you haven't created it, you don't beat yourself up and go, oh shit, I'm no good. What's wrong with me? What you do is you say, okay, it didn't happen. It didn't happen the way that I wanted it to. Great. What's the learning? It didn't happen that way because it wasn't supposed to happen that way. Great. It didn't happen, so let's look at it. Let's evaluate it. What's the learning? Was there anything to learn from it? Is there any skill, knowledge, or experience that I'm missing that I haven't been able to execute that? Maybe it didn't happen because it wasn't supposed to happen. Maybe it wasn't in alignment. Maybe I would have liked it to happen, but for whatever reason, a certain other number of things happened that got in the way. Hey, John, Happy New Year to you, buddy. So, intention without attachment. Intention without attachment. So like, go for it. And if it doesn't happen in exactly the way, shape, form, or time that it happens, that's okay. Don't judge yourself. Don't beat yourself up. It just didn't happen that way. Learn from it. Move on. Set another goal. Keep going. So there you go. I trust that helps. Those of you that might have been worried about setting a goal if it doesn't happen, don't judge yourself. You're doing the best that you can. Have compassion for yourself. Have love for yourself. And keep doing the best that you can, because you are doing the best that you can. So there you go. It's really quite simple. Anyway, guys, you can see that there's a beautiful sunset out there behind me. How nice is this? Greetings again and Happy New Year from Scarborough in Perth, Western Australia. Thanks for tuning in, guys. As I said, jump into the show notes tomorrow, and you'll be able to download the worksheet to go through this process for yourself. Wishing you an awesome 2019. Thanks for tuning in to Transformation Tuesday. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for the love, guys. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again next Tuesday. All the best, guys. Much love. I'll see you soon.